Are you lying there right now, watching the minutes tick by in the quiet of the night? Your body is completely exhausted, but your mind just won't seem to turn off no matter what. You are mentally running through a dozen different scenarios for tomorrow, trying to fix things that haven't happened. It feels like you are carrying the weight of the entire world on your shoulders, all by yourself. Every problem, every relationship, every uncertainty. You feel responsible for holding it all perfectly together. Let me ask you this. Are you tired of trying to be the one in control? Science tells us that when we overthink, our brain's prefrontal cortex goes into a state of absolute overdrive. Your body releases cortisol, the stress hormone, keeping your nervous system trapped in a fight or flight loop. You are physically safe in your bed, but your brain is reacting as if you are fighting a battle. No wonder you feel so incredibly drained. We were simply not built to carry tomorrow's burdens today. There is a gentle whisper waiting for you in the quiet, offering a different way to live. Jesus said in Matthew 11:28, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." He didn't say to figure it all out first before coming to him. He just asked you to come, to bring your heavy, tangled thoughts exactly as they are right now. Tonight, we are going to learn how to actively surrender that control and finally let your mind rest. We often think that surrendering means giving up, like we are somehow failing or losing a battle. But in the kingdom of God, surrender is actually the most courageous thing you can do. It is the active daily choice to stop trying to be the author of your own story. The book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verses 5 and 6, gives us the perfect blueprint for finding this peace. It says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make straight your paths." A promise of divine guidance. When you actively choose to lean on him instead of relying on your own exhausted, anxious logic, something absolutely incredible begins to happen inside your physical body, right down to your nervous system. You have something called the vagus nerve, which acts as a gentle brake pedal for your anxious brain. When you pause, take a deep, slow breath, and whisper a sincere prayer of absolute trust, this incredible nerve sends a direct, calming signal to your heart, telling it to slow its rhythm. It activates your parasympathetic nervous system, shifting you out of survival mode and into the rest and digest state. Your brain finally receives the clear message. We are completely safe now. We don't have to fight anymore. The problem might not have vanished yet, but you are no longer carrying its crushing weight alone. You are handing it over to the very same hands that are strong enough to hold the entire universe. But you might wonder, why do we need to surrender daily? Why doesn't letting go just once fix everything forever? The answer to that question lies deeply hidden within the beautiful physical design of the brain God gave you. Think of your mind like a vast, dense forest. Every single thought you have is like walking a tiny path. When you worry every single day, you are walking down the exact same dark, tangled trail over and over again. Eventually, that trail becomes a deep, wide, and very familiar road. Your brain naturally defaults to anxiety because it's easiest. Neuroscience calls this neuroplasticity. There is a famous scientific rule that says neurons that fire together wire together. So if your brain is currently hardwired for fear and control, how do you possibly begin to change it? You have to start carving a brand new path. When you consciously pray a prayer of surrender, you take one courageous step onto a brand new golden trail. At first, it might feel difficult or unnatural. Your brain desperately wants to run back to the familiar road of overthinking. But every single night you repeat your trust in God, you choose to walk that beautiful new path of peace again. With daily repetition, the golden neural pathway of peace grows significantly wider, stronger, and so much easier for you to travel. And what happens to that old dark road of chronic anxiety? Without you constantly walking on it, it slowly begins to fade away. The Apostle Paul actually wrote about this life-changing concept thousands of years long before modern neuroscience ever discovered it. In Romans chapter 12, verse 2, he gently instructs us, "Be transformed by the renewing of your mind." To completely renew your mind is to actively partner with God in rewiring your beautiful brain for his absolute perfect peace. So tonight, as you lie here in the quiet darkness, we are going to begin building that exact golden pathway. We are going to pray a prayer of active surrender. You can whisper these words or just agree with them in your heart. Before we receive his peace, we must first name the heavy things we are carrying. We have to bring them into the light. In psychology, there is a powerful tool called affect labeling. When you actively name your specific fear, something amazing happens. Your brain's amygdala, the alarm center that causes your panic, actually begins to calm down just by naming the emotion. And Peter, in his first letter, chapter 5, verse 7, beautifully invites us to do exactly this. He simply says, casting all your anxieties on him because he cares so deeply for you. Notice he says all your anxieties, not just the big ones, but the tiny nagging daily worries too. So right now, let's take a slow, gentle, deep breath in together and slowly, completely let it out. Say this with me. Lord, tonight I am naming my heavy burdens and I am bringing them to you. I surrender my deep, exhausting worries about tomorrow. I let go of the difficult conversations I cannot change. I release my desperate need to control the outcome of the situations that are completely out of my hands. I give you my financial stress, my health fears, and my concerns for the people I deeply love. I name these fears right now and I physically lift them up off my own tired shoulders. I place every single one of these heavy stones securely into your strong, capable, and infinitely loving hands. Take another very slow, deep breath in. As you exhale, imagine a warm, comforting light filling that empty space. Whisper this, Lord, I have emptied my hands. I am now ready to receive your perfect peace. In Philippians chapter 4, verse 7, God makes an extraordinary promise to those who choose to surrender. He promises the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ. When you focus on this promise, you actively combat what neuroscientists call your brain's negativity bias. Your brain is naturally wired to scan for threats, always looking for the next problem to solve. But God's peace acts as a literal shield. It stands guard at the door of your thoughts. Say this out loud. I choose to let your peace stand guard over my mind tonight. I am safe. When those anxious thoughts try to sneak back in, you don't have to fight them anymore. Just point them to Him. I am not the manager of the universe, you remind yourself. I am His child, and I am loved. Your physical body is designed to heal and restore itself when it feels safe, and nothing is safer than being held in the palm of the Creator's hand. As Psalm 4:8 says, in peace I will both lie down and sleep, for you alone, O Lord. Make me dwell in safety. Rest well tonight, you are held. This video is for spiritual encouragement and educational purposes, not a substitute for professional medical or psychological therapy. Take care of yourself. But what happens if you wake up at 3 in the morning and suddenly your heart is racing again? First, don't panic. Science shows that briefly waking up during natural sleep cycles is actually completely normal. Your anxiety simply tries to use this momentary wakefulness to pull you back into the dark forest of overthinking. But this is exactly where your new golden neural pathway of peace becomes incredibly powerful and ready to use. Because you actively practice surrendering earlier, your brain already knows the exact, familiar route back to absolute safety. You don't have to start the mental fight all over again. You just have to gently remember the truth. Psalm 121 perfectly reminds us of this truth. He who watches over you will not slumber. God does not need to sleep. He is standing constant guard over your life and your future. So when you wake up, you can gently whisper to yourself, I don't need to stay awake tonight. I don't need to hold my world together. The creator of the entire universe is already working the night shift. So take another deep, slow breath right now. Feel your tired muscles sink heavily back down into the mattress. Every single time you choose trust over fear in the middle of the night, you are actively reinforcing that pathway. You are literally teaching your nervous system that peace is your permanent home, not just a temporary fleeting visit. Let the quiet darkness of your room become a comforting, warm blanket of His unwavering presence around you. Rest now. You are completely safe. You are held. And tomorrow is entirely in His capable hands. When the morning finally comes, your brain naturally experiences something called the cortisol awakening response. It is a biological spike in your stress hormone, perfectly designed just to wake your body up. If you aren't careful, your mind will instantly use this chemical energy to start worrying about today. This is exactly where your daily surrender practice meets the new day. You have a choice right now. Before you check your messages or look at your heavy to-do list, pause, breathe, and practice gratitude. You can intentionally activate that beautiful golden neural pathway of peace right at the very start of your day. Science shows that practicing gratitude first thing in the morning literally rewires your brain's center of attention. It forces your mind to scan your environment for safety, provision, and blessing, rather than scanning for potential threats. The Book of Lamentations, chapter 3, offers the most beautiful, timeless foundation for this morning habit. It declares, "The steadfast love of the Lord never ceases. His mercies never, ever come to an end. They are new every single morning. Great is your faithfulness." Every morning is a completely clean slate. So let's set the tone for your nervous system today with a very quiet, simple prayer of morning surrender. Whisper this gently: "Lord, thank you for the absolute gift of this brand new, beautiful, untouched day. I completely surrender all my plans, my difficult conversations, and my future worries into your capable hands. I consciously choose your peace to guide my steps today." Just notice how much lighter your body feels right now. What happens when you finally leave the quiet safety of your bedroom and step into a chaotic, busy day? The world is loud. Your schedule is completely packed. There are endless demands pulling your attention in 100 directions. An unexpected email arrives. A difficult conversation happens. Suddenly, your brain's alarm system wants to sound the siren all over again. This is the precise moment where the neuroplasticity of your morning prayer is put to the ultimate real-world test. Instead of reacting immediately, you pause. You take one slow, deep breath, and you remember the peace you established. Think of a massive storm raging on the surface of the ocean. The waves are violent, crashing, and totally unpredictable. If you dive just a few hundred feet below that chaotic surface, the water is perfectly still and profoundly calm. When you surrendered your day to God, you essentially dropped a heavy golden anchor straight down into those calm, deep waters. That anchor is hooked firmly into the unshakable rock of his truth, completely unaffected by the storm raging above. Jesus promised his disciples in John chapter 14, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give to you. Not as the world gives do I give to you. Let not your hearts be troubled, neither let them be afraid." His peace is not the absence of stressful emails or difficult moments. It is the unshakable anchor right in the middle of them. Scientifically, when you visualize that anchor, your brain instantly reroutes energy away from the amygdala's panic button. So instead of a pounding, hard, and racing thoughts, you experience a grounded mind. You can gracefully handle whatever the day brings. In the middle of the noise, just whisper, "I am anchored. The Lord is fighting for me today. I am safe." When the busy day finally ends and the sun begins to set, you return to the quietness of your space. You survive the day, not by your own exhausted strength, but because you were held securely by him. You didn't have to carry the weight of the world, because you already handed it over this morning. Your nervous system remained grounded because deep down you knew your anchor was firmly holding you in place. The prophet Isaiah captured this perfectly in chapter 26, verse 3, revealing a profound truth about our focus. You keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on you because he trusts in you. In neuroscience, there is a specific network in your brain called the default mode network, or DMN. It is the part of your brain responsible for mind wandering, worrying about the future, and catastrophic overthinking. When your mind is actively stayed on him through daily prayer, this overactive network literally quiets down. The endless, noisy chatter fades away, and the beautiful golden pathways of peace take over your entire mind. So tonight, as you finally lay your tired head back down on that soft pillow once again, don't just casually ask for peace. Make the conscious, courageous choice to actively surrender your control to him. Open your hands. Drop the heavy, invisible stones you've picked up today back into his capable, loving arms. And watch how he beautifully, faithfully transforms your mind, one quiet, surrendered breath at a time. Let the quiet darkness of your room become a comforting blanket of his unwavering presence around you tonight. So as we close tonight, I want you to simply breathe and listen. Take one more deep breath in, hold it for just a second, and slowly exhale. Feel the tension leaving your jaw, your neck, your shoulders. Let yourself be completely heavy. Whisper in your mind, "My mind is resting because God is working. I am laying down my need to understand. I am choosing to simply trust. The Lord is my shepherd. I lack absolutely nothing. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul, even though I walk through the darkest valley. I will fear no evil, for you are with me. You are fully seen, you are fully known, and you are fully loved. There is nothing left for you to solve today. The day is done. Your mind is renewing. Your body is healing. Your soul is completely anchored. Rest well tonight. You are safely held in his peace. This video is for spiritual encouragement and educational purposes, not a substitute for professional medical or psychological therapy. Please seek professional help if needed.